Hi, guys. I figured that we should probably make a video about the special cases so that if you did not have a chance to write down notes on it when we talked about it briefly last week, that you have official notes that you will be taking on it to help you get ready for our test, which again is at the end of this week. So if you did not take notes on Friday when we talked about special cases during class time, you should be definitely taking notes right now. If you already took notes, go ahead and just watch the video. And if there's anything that you feel like your notes are missing, you can add it to your notes from Friday. Special cases for linear equations are equations that have only one variable in them. So usually our equations will have both variables in it. You'll have an x and a y, but sometimes we'll get it where there's only one letter in the equation. So we'll talk about both of those scenarios today. For scenario number one, we have the scenario of just a letter x in the equation. So that would be something like x equals 4, where there's no letter y, and that's pretty much it, right? Just x equals a number. This is technically standard form, ax plus by equals c, where the number in front of the y is a 0. If we look at a graph of this, this graph is going to go through the 4 on the x-axis, and it's going to be a vertical line. So a vertical line will always have an equation of x equals a number. And a vertical line also, just throwing this out there as well, has a special slope, and that slope is an undefined slope. Now, depending on what the question is asking, sometimes it's appropriate to write undefined slope, and sometimes it's appropriate to write x equals 4. So if the question wants to know, if the question says, what is the slope? Then you would say undefined. But if the question says, write an equation, then you would write x equals 4. So it's all about the wording of the question. Let's take a look at the other special case. There's only two because there's only two letters. So the other special case would be an equation with only a letter y in it, such as y equals -2. Again, this would be technically standard form, ax plus by equals c, where the a is the number 0, making the x disappear. For this equation, if we were looking at a graph, it would be a line going through the -2 on the y-axis, and it would be a nice horizontal line. So horizontal lines always have an equation of y equals a number. You find the number by just looking where does it cross the y-axis. If the question says, what is the equation? You would write y equals -2. If the question says, what is the slope? All horizontal lines have 0 slope. Okay, so a horizontal line has 0 slope. So if it says, what's the slope? You say 0. You can type the number 0 if you're doing delta math. And then if it asks for the equation, you put y equals -2. If you're doing problems like we've been doing for the previous, week and a half, where they're giving you points and slopes and maybe just points and no slopes, you can also do these special cases. So here's our first example. It says write an equation through the point 3, 4 and with an undefined slope. So whenever your slope is undefined, it's x equals a number. And to find the number, you just take the x coordinate from the ordered pair. So that would be this number 3 right here. And that's an instant answer. There's no work required on that. If it says through the point 3, 4 and with a slope of 0, that's y equals a number. And so again, you would take the y coordinate from the ordered pair this time. So I would put y equals 4. Again, undefined slope is x equals a number, and 0 slope is y equals a number. If they don't give you a slope, if they just give you two ordered pairs, you can always find slope. Or if you notice when you're looking at the ordered pairs that they share the same coordinate, that actually tells you which answer you should give. For instance, on this first example on the left-hand side, through the points -2, 6 and -2, 7, if I'm paying extra close attention to my ordered pairs, I notice that they both have a -2 for my x coordinates. That means my final answer will be x equals -2. Now, they do have to be the exact same number. If one was negative and the other was positive, then you can't do this. So it has to be the same number for the same coordinates. Similarly, on my final example for this chapter, it says through the points -2, 6, and 5, 6. In this example, I noticed that my y-coordinates are the same. They're both the number 6. So when the y-coordinates are exactly the same, then my final answer is y equals a number, and that number is 6. This concludes our special cases. Your homework for today is to do your Delta Math quiz. You do have to have it done before school starts tomorrow, so work on that tonight. Tomorrow we'll go over our quiz from last week as well as the Delta Math quiz to prepare for Friday's test.